Hey there, friend. Chances are, if you're listening to the Inventory Genius podcast, it's because, well, you really want to become an inventory genius. If that's you, then let's stop just listening. Let's stop just collecting information. Let's start doing. I want to invite you to grab your copy of the Inventory Genius book. I wrote this book with you in mind. It delivers bite-sized actionable steps that will help you use your inventory to create more profit and keep more cash in your business. This is a really easy to read book. In fact, I designed it specifically for the busy inventory-based business owner. It only takes about 2 hours to make your way through, and you're going to leave with practical bite-sized steps so you can start implementing the principles of the Inventory Genius method immediately. Head on over to Ciara, Stockeland.com, where you can grab your ebook, your Audible version, or the printed copy. Enjoy! Hey friend, welcome to the Inventory Genius podcast, where we work together here to make you an inventory genius. We talk about profit, we talk about cash flow, and we definitely talk about your paycheck. Because at the end of the day, it's all related to your inventory. Let's go. Well, hello there, and welcome to the Inventory Genius podcast. I am your host, Ciara, and today I have a guest with me that is going to chat with all of you guys about the importance of personal relationship building in our businesses. I think in this age where there's so much online social availability, we tend to forget that people just want that personal touch and that interaction with us. They want to know that we see them, we hear them, we know them. And I was recently visiting with Janice on another project, and she was talking to me about this phenomenal business that she has that helps us touch our customers in a very unique way. And so I said, we have to have you on the podcast. We have to chat about it. So welcome, Janice. I'm so excited to have you.
Thank you so much. And before we go any further, is this visual as well as audio?
Yes, we'll use it. We put it on YouTube. I don't know if anyone ever watches it, but
That's okay. I
yes.
just noticed though that my beautiful background is marred because I'm in the middle of a reno downstairs in my house, and I've started
Oh,
to put boxes into my room, and so you see that lovely box on my chair.
yes.
And I thought, oh shoot, I saw it too late. So there it is. It is the
Oh,
real me.
well.
Yeah, it's all good.
Many more people just listen, so we'll be all good. Yeah.
Oh dear.
So tell me about yourself. I mean, I first knew that you were a LinkedIn expert. But then you started chatting with me about this amazing idea and concept that you work through that helps us connect with our customers. So tell us a little bit about your background and what you're up to.
Okay, well, thank you for the opportunity, first of all, Ciara. And I'm really all about relationships. I'm all about people. I always have been. In my first life, I was a teacher, an elementary school teacher, always loved teaching, always loved kids. But I didn't realize there was a lot of bureaucracy that I didn't like in the school system. And that's what eventually got me out of there. And then I started doing training with corporate training. So I was now teaching big kids, really, is all it really was, the difference. Anyway, and then I got into working for myself. And long story short, I was introduced to network marketing, and then not long after I was introduced to LinkedIn. And over the next few years, I was finding a way to incorporate those two things together, because what network marketing does is gives you the opportunity to have residual income over the years, and that's really always a good thing. And LinkedIn gave me the opportunity to teach again. And I love
Yeah.
teaching. So that worked really well. So what ended up happening is I, for whatever reason, called myself a relationship marketing specialist. And I was able to, under that umbrella, do both of these things. And with my LinkedIn training, my focus is really in the mailbox. It's about meeting new people. It's about networking through LinkedIn. It's about building relationships. And then once I start and build those relationships online on LinkedIn, I take them off and start, emails and Zoom calls, and maybe even in person if that's a possibility. And then also nurturing the relationships to stay top of mind. And so my network marketing piece is my affiliation with a company called Send Out Cards. And I've been an affiliate with that company for 15 years. It's just in my blood. I can't help myself. When I
Yeah.
talked to you for the first time, I think I said before we were off the call, would you mind giving me your mailing address? Because I'm a card sender, right? I'm not going to sell
Yeah.
your address to anybody. I'm just going to send you a card. So that's kind of how it all came together and continues to operate in my world. So
Love that.
yeah,
I
that's really
love that. Well, we have a lot to talk about. I want to talk about the cards, but first I want to talk for a minute about using social in a more human way. Because I think we feel like we fall into this rut as business owners of what can I post that can get a lot of likes or a lot of comments, and we forget that the inbox in any social platform can be such a great way to connect. So a couple months ago, I went to visit a client. I think I told you this, I can't remember, but I went to visit a client and I looked at my Instagram the next day and she said, "Oh my goodness, are you in Rhode Island? I just finished your book." And I said, "I am." And so I tried to figure out a way to go back and see her, but I didn't have enough time with flying out. Otherwise, I absolutely would have gone in. I mean, isn't that fantastic? Like
yes.
the power of the DM and just connecting in a human way. So you teach that in LinkedIn to be very intentional with connection.
I do. I do. I'm not one that likes to, I've never really I guess for lack of a better word, I've never really got Instagram and Facebook in terms of the way that some people are very, very good at it and are able to really grow their business through the conversations that they have openly on their posts. That's
Yeah.
just a bit too private for that. However, it's probably an age thing too. The younger people don't seem to mind, and we tend to be more private as I'm older. But I wasn't including you in that. We, by the
Yep.
way. Um, and then and then the fact that I saw, and it started really deeply at the beginning of COVID when I realized I couldn't go to network events anymore,
Yeah.
and the room and meet people that way. But once I got used to how to do it properly on LinkedIn, I never have gone out again, really, in terms of, wasting the time running around to an event, parking, getting out in the rain, spending
Right.
money on all that. I don't have to do that anymore unless I choose to, right?
Yeah.
So, so really it's about, for me, excuse me, on LinkedIn, it's about strategically looking at who do I want to connect with, who are prospects for me, who are possible referral partners for me, who are possible strategic partners, people who work with the same kind of people that I work with,
Yeah.
but in a different capacity. And those are people I want to get to know, because as I build a relationship, business can come from that. It may seem like it's a little bit longer, a route, however you say it, but it's a better one in my mind. It's,
Yeah.
it's more personal. It touches from the heart. And so the card piece as well, tying in with that, takes people to a different place. It, I don't know what it does, but I always say it takes them from their head to their heart. When they get a
Yeah.
tangible card in the mail, because who gets cards in the mail really anymore? There's a small percentage. So 3% of our mailbox, real mailbox stuff, 3% is personal. The rest
Oh,
is,
wow.
yeah. And so
Wow.
we get trash, we get, spam in our real mailbox, we get bills. What else do we get? Tax notices. And
Yeah.
then to get a card, are you aware that, like, how many of your emails are unread in your inbox? How many cards are left unread? You always open a card,
Yeah. That's so
100%,
neat. So
right?
tell us a really unique story with a
Mm.
card that was sent that either really helped a potential or found you a potential client or helped a customer you already have.
Well, I'm going to tell you that there are two types of cards that I talk about. One is what I call the heartfelt prompting card. And a heartfelt prompting card is someone comes to your mind today and you were thinking of them you don't know why, but you were thinking of them. So you want to reach out and send them something. Hopefully you have their address so you can send them a card. If not, pick up the phone. Why not? Right?
Yeah.
Or send a text, whichever.
Yep.
Um, Secondly, the what we call system sends. And system sends are the ones that are more organized. We've planned them. They are like a direct mail, or they're like an email sequence type of thing, right? Where you can pre-plan it, and they're really meant to be top of mind reminders that, you're there, and hopefully they will remember you on a regular basis. And because it's cards and not emails, I know they're going to get opened. Okay. So here's a story. This isn't my story, but I want to tell this story because it's such a personal, beautiful story. And it actually was somebody in my company. And this person sent cards every day, one card a day, acting on a prompting. And he would say, who comes to mind today? Who needs to hear from me? And today, this particular day, he thought that thought of the organist in his church, and she needed to hear from him. So he just picked a basic card out of the catalog, and he wrote a message in it that said, thank you for the beautiful music you play every Sunday. You bring such pleasure to, and are such an integral part of the service. Thank you for what you do. And he sent it. And the other piece to sending out a heartfelt card is you send out to give. You don't worry about whether anyone's going to know about it or say thank you or not say thank you. Just send it out, because the universe works in great ways that way. So a couple of weeks later, he ran into this woman at church, after church, and she stopped him in the parking lot area. And she said, oh my goodness, she said, you have no idea what that card meant to me. Thank you so much for sending it. She said, the day that I received that card, I was just about to go to the phone, call the church, and quit being the
organist. Oh my, wow.
Because I'm so tired of people saying, why don't you play this hymn? Why don't you play that hymn? Why don't you do this? I don't like that you don't do that. And she was quite feeling very, taken for granted and not appreciated. But something stopped her from picking up the phone, and she went to the mailbox, and there was the card. Oh, and that still leaves shivers in my soul, because that made such a difference to that woman's life. Yeah. There are so many stories. There's just the fact that people don't get cards very often really actually makes them respond by saying, oh my goodness, that was so nice of you to send that card. Thank you so much. I haven't had a card like that for so long, for years. Yeah. Sometimes I've sent a birthday card and it'll be the only card that person's received. Yeah. So it's just mail some joy. That's really what it's about.
I love it. So a lot of our listeners have retail stores, or they have wholesale wholesale customers. So customers, right? So they're B2B. How could they use this in their business?
So many ways. Okay. So somebody with a retail store, I just saw a beautiful post you did about a bookstore that you were in, and how you bought some books when you were there. Why wouldn't you, right? I mean, yeah.
Oh my goodness, I wanted so many of them. Yeah.
That was so cool. So if the retail store owner has a way and is, building their relationships with their clients, and I would imagine a local bookstore would be a good example of that, where they know their clients, their regular clients. And if they have a way to collect their mailing addresses. And by the way, if they have a way, I just ask. I mean, that's really what you have to do, is just ask. Because as you build trust with people, they know that, you're not going to do anything untoward with it. So I think that they could send a card, one to their regular clients on a quarterly basis, just to say, we appreciate you, and that kind of thing. Or they could send something if they haven't seen a regular client in a while, and say, hope all is well, was thinking of you, haven't seen you for a while. That would be nice. They could do a client or customer of the month, and they could maybe have a little thing on the counter at the front that if they want to take part in that, they could leave their name and address or something like that, and then send a box of brownies and a card to the client of the month. Just showing people that they appreciate them, that they care. In a small town situation, I would imagine Facebook might be a place that a lot of things get noticed, like if somebody had a new baby. I mean, it happens everywhere too, but I think where people know each other more than in
Right.
a big city. You see someone's got a new grandchild or they lost their dog or whatever. You take those pictures, you put them on a card, and for no other reason than it made you think of them, you send them a card. Do you think
Yeah.
they won't come into the store again sooner?
Right.
Right?
Absolutely. Yeah. And I think when they have an option, they're always going to go with the relationship over a competitor.
Oh, I would for sure. I
Yeah.
know that, but I mean, not everybody will, but I think people who have a heart will. It's
Hmm.
funny because I was talking about something like this with someone the other day, like and it was as little as, like I said to this person, are you sure that I should use that brand? Because I'm a loyal label shopper, like
Yep.
that's the one I always buy because I'm a creature of habit too. So I think that's
Right. We all are.
yeah, yeah,
Yes. Yeah.
yeah. So there's fear of the unknown, right?
Yes. So I know so many people are listening and they're like, okay, this sounds great. I just one more thing to do. How am I going to do this? I don't have the time. I'm already a one-man band.
Yeah.
Tell us how we can do this easily.
Well, we actually now have, and this is just in the last year, really, that the company that I'm affiliated with, which I mentioned, send out cards. We now have an option for you to also use a VA. And those VAs are send
Nice.
out cards VAs. They know how to create cards. They know how to put your list in. They know how to manage your list of
Okay.
people. And, and then they can set up those system cards for you. They could send out birthday cards, or they could just be there to get you ready to go so that it's easy to just send a card. And it's all done online. And we also have a phone app, so you can be anywhere. So I was thinking about, okay, give me another example. I've got the bookstore in my head. So give me another example.
Yeah. So I have a client that has a skincare distribution business.
Okay. And so I imagine is it all online?
It's all online. Yep. And she works with others. So she sells skincare to other skincare offices.
Right. She's the manufacturer or the
Distributor. Yep.
distributor. So she would want to have those relationships with the people that sell
With
the
the other
products.
owners. Yeah.
Yes. So that's where I see the cards being useful. Again, either staying in touch because it's been a while, or showing appreciation on a quarterly basis
Yep.
to just stay in touch and say, I don't know if you know this, but you are a top person, or top sales
Right.
product
Yeah.
this quarter. Congratulations. And there's so many things: birthdays, anniversaries of when they started working with you, the best kinds of, like, holiday type cards to send, or the non-traditional ones, like national whatever day, or
Donut day. Fun things like
do
that.
something crazy
Yeah.
and send them a donut gift card. We can do
Yep.
the QR codes inside the card and send it. Or we have gift cards as well. We have gifts as well that you can send. I think it's just stepping out of the norm of it being so easy to text or to email, but they don't have the what is it? They don't have the voice. It doesn't have
Yeah.
the voice that a card has, the emotion, right?
Yeah. And so often, like, I think of my people, my customers a lot. Like, I think of them a lot. Oh, I
Well,
wonder
you
how
do a
she's
lot of
doing with
work
her
with
new
them, right?
business.
Yeah,
Yes, I work
yeah,
a lot with them.
yeah,
And so often, I think we think of our customers, but we never tell them we're thinking of them.
that's
Like,
right.
I think of my people all the time, but do they know that I think about them all the time? Probably not.
Yeah. So,
So,
make
yeah.
it easy, stagger depending on how many customers you have. I have a client, he's a mortgage broker, and he has a database of about 600 clients. And he doesn't like social media. He's in
Mhm.
a big city, though. He's not like a small town person. He's in a big city, but and he's not on social media. He does send an email newsletter now. He didn't do that before, but the only other thing he does is send out cards. And so every 2 months, we create together a new card. And one month it's about the mortgage industry and what's happening and keeping them up to date. And the next time it's about, it's just something fun or a different,
Yeah.
Mother's Day's coming. So we're sending a card to remind his people to send Mother's Day cards. So they'll be the heroes, something
Yeah.
fun. And
Yeah.
so he'll send one group 1 month, and then the next month he sends the same card to the other half of the group, and he staggers them. And then
Yeah.
we do a new card and so on. But he stays in touch very often. And the people, his clients now, look forward to his cards.
I
And sometimes
bet.
he does a contest in the card and call me if you got the answer to this or whatever. I'll put you
Yeah.
in a draw for a dinner. So he has fun with it too. But it's become, a thing. So
Yeah.
that's kind of nice. Yeah.
So much you could do.
Oh
Okay,
yeah.
so where can people find you
So
and like
so
reach out?
yeah, well, they can find me on LinkedIn if they want. I'm easy to find on LinkedIn. It's just /LinkedIn, or sorry, /Janice Porter, and also on my website, janiceporter.com. And I also have the opportunity, what I like to do with people who might be curious about the card sending is that they could join me in what I call our 10 card challenge.
Okay.
10 card challenge. Have I done this with you yet? Have we got you the
No.
10 card challenge? Okay.
No.
10 card challenge is basically, I'll give you a link. You'll look at the 10 card challenge. For $20, you can send 10 cards in 20 days, including postage, anywhere in the world.
Oh, for fun. That's
Yeah.
amazing.
No obligation to do anything after that. The of course, the hope is that you get hooked and you
Yeah.
want to do more card sending. And then there are many different ways that you can do it that aren't expensive, that are expensive, whatever you want to do. There's different options. But it gives people the opportunity to start thinking, who needs to hear from me today? Whose
Yeah.
day can I make by sending them a card?
Yeah.
So that's and so I'll give you that afterwards and
Yeah,
you can
give me that link and I'll put that link in the show notes, everyone, so that you can find that. So that would be so fun. And wouldn't it be great if so many of us that listened here all took the 10 card challenge?
be
I
really
mean,
fun.
what a difference in the world we would just make. Just
You know
all of
what?
us listeners
So
here.
you got it. And so you know that the 10 people that you send a card to, they have to be 10 different people
Yeah.
in that 20 days. You've made light and joy in their life, but I guarantee you it was more fun for you. And you,
Yes.
the 11th person that would then benefit and feel the joy by doing that.
Yeah. So good. Well, thank you for coming on today and sharing with us just this idea of how we can connect with people and how sending cards can be done really easily. It doesn't have to be overcomplicated. Your business makes it very easy for us to do that. So I would love to take that challenge and I would love to challenge all of you listening to take the challenge with me. So I'll get the link from you. I'll put it in the show notes. Thanks for hanging out with us today.
Oh, you're welcome, Ciara. It was my pleasure.
All right. And thank you, everybody, for listening to the Inventory Genius podcast. Hopefully, this was just a really fun, inspirational episode, give you an idea of how you can connect better with your customers so that they know that you really care about them. Please join me again next week for the Inventory Genius, where I'll have another guest, and I will see you all later. Bye for now.
Hey friend, thank you so much for tuning in today to the Inventory Genius podcast. If there's something that you heard today on the podcast episode and you want to dig deeper into becoming an inventory genius yourself, I want to invite you to head on over to my website, ciarastockeland.com, where I have multiple ways that you and I can work together on your inventory. I want to help you with your profit, your cash flow, and your paycheck, because at the end of the day, it's all related to your inventory. So head on over to the website, connect with me. I'll work with you soon. See you then. Hey there, friend. So I've already invited you to grab your copy of the Inventory Genius book. But if you're ready to go a step further and dive in, if you want a quick start to becoming an inventory genius, then I want to also invite you to grab your seat and the Quick Start to Inventory Genius course. This really easy to digest course is going to include all the tools, spreadsheets, and systems you need to implement the Inventory Genius method immediately in your business. We'll talk about creating an open to buy plan. We'll talk about creating a profit plan. We'll talk about creating a business budget. And then we cap it all off with a private one-on-one call, you and me. Yep, that's right. The Quick Start to Inventory Genius course includes a one-on-one coaching call with me. So you can go through the book, you can go through the Quick Start to Inventory Genius course, you can write down your questions, and then you and I can get on the phone and problem solve together. Head on over to ciarastockeland.com, grab your seat, at the Quick Start to Inventory Genius course. See you there. Hey there, friend. Do you have an e-commerce business or an online store and you are ready to boost its performance in 2024? Then it's time to make sure that your website is primed and ready for success. I want to introduce you to Make Them Chat. Make Them Chat is a leading website and branding agency dedicated to enhancing e-commerce stores. And here's where their expertise lies. They create visually appealing Shopify storefronts that are optimized for conversions, because that's what we want, right? We want conversions. So head on over to makethemchat.com and get ready to say goodbye to DIY websites and invest in a winning online presence that truly reflects your goals.